Hello, Sims 4 fans and fellow Simmers. Welcome. So today we're going to check out a build tour, and this is a new one to my ongoing series called the Memory Lane series. So this series is a series all about me taking you through a tour of my old builds in my catalog, sharing and reminiscing my thoughts about it, my building journey, and the intention. And so I thought of the perfect build to show you guys today. Seeing as how we've had a recent release with the new Prairie Dreams kit, I thought, why not, bring some attention to cottage living? Because that's the vibe right now. So I'm going to hop into the game real quick. Alrighty, there we are. And as you guys can see, I am in the Rolling Hills neighborhood of Henford-on-Bagley. It is beautiful and it is just surrounded by countryside. So this home is perfect for if you want to live out that cottage living, simple living lifestyle of just living off your own produce and off your own resources. This is great. So as you can see, this cute little cottage was the result of a desire for a family home on a cottage. Like, I had this pair of grandparents who I made as part of my growing together family, and I wanted them to experience the cottage living gameplay as well as have a home that was big enough for the family to come over to stay over, and also small enough for a pair of just two elderly Sims to live in and not be too overwhelmed by their home, plus the, as you can see, yard work and animal work. So let's get into the exterior. So currently I am in build mode, or I thought I was in build mode. Let me hop into build mode real quick just to give you guys an overview. So this is quite a lengthy, large lot, but the house itself is pretty small, which is kind of ideal for this sort of gameplay, because what we have here is plenty of room for gardening and plotting, as well as just outdoor space for whatever type of gameplay you want. And if you have seasons, this will be great, because that means you'll get thunderstorms, rain puddles, mud puddles. If it's fall time, the leaves will fall off the trees. I do have a couple of trees on the lot, so you will get leaf piles. I just adore that in gameplay. And then of course in the summertime, you could just plop down one of those water balloon buckets and still have a good time. Now, this lot is called Granny's Honey Cottage, and it is a 50 by 40. And if you are interested in this lot, you can find it on my gallery, where I have plenty of more awesome lots. And my gallery name is called Marsh Attack 12. So yes, feel free. I have tons of stuff on here: residential, commercial, public lots, mansions, all that good. You will find it. Now, back to the tour. What we have over here, like I said, the main courtyard is here for family things, for gatherings, for barbecues, family reunions, of course the what do you call it, growing together family gameplay that I wanted. And another thing with this build is that I know I wanted to see everything all at once. I know some of you view homes like this with the walls cut away, half up, half down. So that means if I go down to the main level, which is here, a lot of you view the house from this perspective. And so I'm not someone who does that, but I do build for all of my fellow simmers. So I've built with that sort of view in mind. So there's not a bunch of things blocking your way. At least all of the essential things are not blocking your way, and there's still room for everybody to get around and ease of routing. I'm gonna put the walls back up just for a more appealing build tour. And let me explain the other yards to you. So over here is basically where you do all your growing. So you'll be plopping down some crops over here. So whether that be any of the ingredients from base game or the newfound ingredients that come with cottage living. So as you can see here, my family has the spicy mushrooms over here, and What else were they into? A crocus flower. Now that is something that comes with the seasons pack. And I've also got the flower arranging table because this is a very fun activity. It really pretty much any activity that involves crafting in The Sims I really enjoy. But if you are that type of simmer that loves gardening and is into flower arranging, this is the perfect space for that. Now over here in the back we have the animal yard, and I like this because it's easy to get to because it's literally right off of the kitchen. So there's an access point here, and then this is a mud room. So, you know, early in the morning, right off of the kitchen, if you want to come out and grab some eggs, the chicken coop is right here, literally. So you can come out here, get some eggs, make some breakfast, greet your little furry friends. And I built this with gameplay in mind, so I have 2 animal sheds over here. So I have one for a llama and one for a cow. So yeah, now you can have the best of both worlds. And of course, this is an old build, so I've had this in my save forever, and I've played in this. I know everything functions well, so you can get over here and refill the hay bucket. Is that what it's called? A hay bucket. But yeah, and then also, again, you want to live that cottage lifestyle, we have the laundry items that come with laundry day, and this is more so of the like off the grid sort of laundry setup. So here's a literal wash bucket. And again, if you're into like harvesting flowers or you use the flower arranging table, you could take those flowers and put them in the wash bucket and it will scent your clothing. And then when you hang them up to dry and then collect them, they will give your Sims a boost and have an effect on them throughout the day. So again, cool for gameplay. Now also, outside of this, this gate is closed off, but again, there's a little picnic table over here. I just wanted to give the vibe of literally living out in the rolling hills and having this extra area. Maybe you want to go out on a picnic, because we do get the picnic basket that comes with Cottage Living, and you can go ahead and plop that on the table. So what I mean by picnic basket, if I type in picnic, let's see, I was hoping for an object to pop up. Here it is. So you get these 2 different versions, and if you put food in it after you prep the food, put it on the table, you toss it in the picnic basket, you could put it in your Sims inventory, and it doesn't have to be on your home lot. You can go out into any lot that you load onto. As long as there is a picnic table there, you could plop down this picnic basket and set up a picnic, and then you will get the sentiment and the extra buffs and all of that. It's really cute, so I adore that. All right, so I'm gonna get out of here. Also, there is a basement to this lot. Now, when I made this lot, again, I wanted to have Grow Together Let's Play gameplay here, and just family gathering, all that. But at the time of making this, Horse Ranch was already out, and so I do know about the ability to make wine, and I thought, well, if you're gonna have a cottage anyway, it would make sense to at least have that option here. So if you want to make wine down in your cellar, you can. I didn't have Horse Ranch when I bought this, but I did have it in mind to be an add-on. So there's a space down here. If you want to make it into a wine cellar, you can, and I'll show you guys that shortly after our interior tour. So let's get into the interior real quick as well. As you can see, there are doors here in the front. There's basically the front door and then our door right off of the dining section. So yeah, let me address the elephant in the room. So over here we have pretty much a outdoor patio area, and I know a lot of these are very common on the side of the house or in the back of the house, or at least in the references that I've watched. I've seen quite a few in the front, but this was different for me, and I like the idea of it. As soon as I saw it, and my inspo I was like, I definitely want to try that because you can see everything all at once. And I let me tell you, I attempted a lot like this, similar, in which I wanted to make a family lot, a big farm with a giant, yard and all of that. I did that, and it was like 2 stories with a big wide basement, and it was just way too much, and everything was out of camera view. This has been made to have everything in view. Everything that's in the yard is in front of the house, so there's not going to be a lot of reaching around. But yeah, like I said, this is great for family gameplay and family reunions, or just playing, family gatherings on a Sunday. I think that's perfect. Now let's actually go through the interior of the house. And again, I do have Sims that live here. So you will see them probably doing something in here in the midst of action. So as you enter the door, you are basically into a sort of like front room. It's like there's a double living room here, basically. So here's the front room. As you can see, there's a little nook here that has entryway items. And then over this way, this would be what I'd consider the front room. So what exactly is here? A fireplace to warm up and a games table. Again, I wanted this to be like the hangout space for the family to come. So the idea was that in my gameplay, this would be my Sim's mom. So, not on the husband side, but on the wife's side, this would be my Sim's mom, who lives out in the countryside. And when you come here, there's just lots of spaces just for family time. So I thought, why not put a little game table here where all the family can just sit around and just enjoy a game, whether that be puzzles or symbols or what's the other one? Don't Wake the Llama, chess, any one of those. So that is available. Oh, and if you did not know, this is a beautiful fireplace that comes with Cottage Living, and it has all these little slots on here. So I put one photo up here, but you could put many. So definitely make use of that. It's a beautiful feature, and if you have a big family, that will be amazing. Now, there's also this side of the house, which we'll get to, but I don't want to ignore this that's right behind us. So over here, as you can tell, we have like the actual Sims that live in this house. So that's Poppy, and that's her husband Geezer, and they've been living on the countryside for years, and this is just their way of life. This is the second home that they've been into, and then it's nice because it's got a lot of charm. So this is the dining room where all of the family comes and have their, Harvest Fest meals and grand dinners, and it's very fitting because it has like this very you could tell this table gets used a lot, and it's for that specific purpose. Just how the chairs are just set to me, it really gives off that vibe that this is for formal dining, and it actually gets used. So I love that. Off in the back over here, you can see we have some china going on, some blue china, and it is just perfect. And if you're wondering, where did I get this honey-coated cabinet and corner piece from? Cats and dogs. Cats and dogs. There are quite a few cats and dogs pieces in here, and it just meshed well. And as you can see, I have like this custom-made archway, and it's in that same honey-coated medium oak brown tone, and it just fits the house so well. So I love that. And that is our dining room. Features of this dining room include a little desk over here for a computer. We use the Cottage Living computer, and I just love that. I always try to put a computer in the house if I can, because you just never know what your Sims will be up to, and I always think it's just good to have a computer for all the features that it comes with. And I don't know what's the lifestyle of your Sims. You may be a writer, you may be a freelancer. It's just handy. And then over here, of course, is a radio. I always feel like it's also good to have a radio in a build, because if you want to throw a party at this house, whether that be the family reunion or a birthday party or, you know, maybe a prom send off. Who knows how you're playing this or what your intent with this house will be. You have that option. And then these doors, they lead straight out to the deck that's out front where you can gather around the campfire. So I thought that was perfect. And this is such a vibe at nighttime as well. So really, really beautiful. And then over here we have the beautiful kitchen. So this is a nice quaint kitchen. I like to think of it as something that's not too big, not too small, because it just gives just enough. And the idea with this kitchen is to have plenty of counter space, because with the update that came pre-launch of Cottage Living, we were given the ability to cook together. And so I thought I definitely want to make sure that if you're going to come to this home, that you'll be doing a lot of family cooking together. So there's plenty of free space on the counters. And again, the backs of these island counters can be used. So if you want to take away the clutter or put the picnic basket away, you can do that as well. And also, this is just something that I do. I love having shelves in the kitchen. Now this, I'm sure it just looks like regular shelving to you, and that's great. I'm glad because it looks amazing. But also, if you did not know, Cottage Living comes with the ability to make preserves. So you could take an ingredient from your farm or your little garden out there, come in here, put it on the stove and just stew it, and you'll make a preserve. And it'll turn it into a jam or a jelly of some sort. And you will then have this little bottle that just fits so nicely on shelves. So you got plenty of shelf room here. And yes, it's a very fun hobby. If you are interested in that, please try it out and let me know what you think, because I'm so glad that that's been added to here. Got a microwave as well. Also, microwaves are great if you have kids in the home, because kids can't use the stove. So if they're hungry and no one else is awake, or maybe they're out busy tending to the farm or whatnot, kids can then serve themselves if there's no other food on the counter or in the fridge. So I like that. And of course, we got the farmhouse sink. Really, really great. And this is that back door that I was talking about when you want to leave out in the morning. So as you can see, Poppy's in her, like, I love this little outfit that came with Cottage Living. But as you can see, she's got her little boots on. And there are other boots that came with Cottage Living, these like giant rubber ones that I like to change into when I go out in the yard. So it's almost like she puts them on and she goes out in the yard and she's ready, you know, to step out in the mud and in the dirt and whatnot, to give these animals what they need and to get the cleaning out the shed and to tend to the weeds in the garden. That's an early morning thing. So I really love that. And like I said, this leads to a mud room, and we'll come around when we get to that point. But this is so beautiful. And yeah, this is just lovely. And if you guys have a desire for a cottage living style build, this is perfect, especially with the Prairie Dreams kit being out. Some of you might get inspired to return to some of your cottage living families or to make some new ones, but yeah, this will be available to you. And I want to, just give focus to these little pieces of detail that just add character to the house. So this is a clock. It came with Cottage Living as well. It's an antique clock. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is so perfect for here, for adding that charm. And again, the color meshes well with the old wood that's going on in here. And then I also added this little book. So for those who don't know, they might be looking at this thinking that, oh, it's just a regular clutter piece. It is not. It is a functional recipe book. And usually a lot of people put it in the kitchen. I chose to put it out here because for camera viewing. Because I'm like, if you're cooking, you can move it on to that space over there if you want to and still have it in view. But I thought, you know what? If you're in the kitchen, you just click on the stove or on the refrigerator. But, you know, if you're across the house, you may not want to, you know, move your camera all the way. You could just click on the book and tell your sim what to cook. So I do like that ability. But let me zoom back in and give you the rest of the tour. Over here, we have a hallway that leads to a restroom. And I want to, again, just give some applause here for the antiques that are in this house. This is an antique mirror. It came with the Sims 4 Growing Together pack. We got quite a few things in that pack. But I love this because, again, it adds charm to the house. And it's very beautiful. And let me take you inside of the restroom really quick. So this is a full bath. You got quite a few full baths in this place. Now this is good because it acts as not only a guest room but also as yeah, a room anyone can use. So what I mean is that's basically the main room for anyone that's just a visitor, that's just out in the open over here. They'll be able to use this restroom. And we have a guest room back here. So if you have a stayover guest, there's a guest room right there. This was the mud room that I was referring to. As you can see, still lots of cats and dog stuff. So if you are a dog lover, cat lover, you will love this build because it's pet friendly. And specifically in my household, we have a dog. So that dog is an elderly dog and he has his own bed here. His name is Old Yeller. I thought it was perfect for a pair of elderly Sims. But what makes this even cute of a space is that I've used all the items from Cats and Dog that made sense for a little doggy corner. So we have the leash. I love this little item right here because I've passed it quite a few times. And sometimes it's hard to make it work well in a build. But this goes so well with the character and aesthetic of this build. So we have the little leashes right here for when we want to take the dog out, which makes sense by this back door. We also have the dog food over here and any dog snacks and treats. Love that. And then this is like a little linen closet, which again is perfect because it's right off of the guest bathroom. So I really love that, and I love all the accessories in here. Oh, I did put the laundry hamper here because again, this is the mud room. And the laundry itself, the clothesline is out back with the wash tub. So that made a lot of sense to me. And then I'm going to take you to the guest room. So here is the guest room. And it's very simple, straight to the point. We kept the aesthetic of the rest of the house in here. And yeah, bare bones. So there's no clutter in here. This is strictly made to be a guest room for whoever comes. Now, if you download this build, again, you might have multiple Sims in your household and you need this space for an extra household member. This works well because it's still spacious in here. So you can still add more things. But yeah, that's our mud room and guest room. And that concludes at least this side of the house. Now we're going to go on over to the other side of the house. Now, like I said earlier, we got two living rooms, sort of. So we got the front room here and then the actual like lower den area. So you step down these steps and now you've entered the actual living space. So I did a little cool thing with the TV setup. So as you know, by default, you can't put TVs on top of the fireplace walls. It's just not a thing. So I had to use BB Move objects to put that there. But again, it works perfectly fine. It's beautiful, actually. It's a good standout piece. I don't know why the Sims team has not made a fireplace with a TV in it or TV slot yet. You'd think they would have done that already. But anyway, this is really, really cute. These are Grandma and Grandpa's chairs. Now, if you've seen the movie Up, then this probably gives you those vibes. Because anytime I see these chairs from Cats and Dogs, they always remind me of Carl and Ellie's chair from the movie Up. And so, yeah, I really adored that. And I love the blue plaid over here. I think that's so cute. And this is basically Grandpa's fishing collection. So these 4 single paneled fish or ones he's actually collected, whereas this one here is just like, what? That's essentially just bait, but that's a cool piece that also came with growing together, I believe that came with growing together. And of course, it's Cottage Living, so we do have these crochet rings. I believe that's what it's called, the crochet ring hobby. And then there's a fish bowl, so if you catch a fish and you want to keep the fish, then you have that option as well. But yeah, this is a nice cool little den. I can actually picture like a Christmas tree in here for sure, like in the corner or something, just moving a chair out of the way. Like, this gives me homely vibes indeed. And again, it comes with these beautiful archways that I've done over there, that's been repeated all throughout the build, so love that. And then now we move on to the actual bedrooms. So there are 3 bedrooms on this side, so that's a total of 4 bedrooms in the entire house. So right here is the primary bedroom, and it is nice and cozy, very beautiful. We've got the vanity here with his and her sides pretty much, and I chose the rustic one. If you don't know, the vanities are what come with the Vintage Glamour stuff pack. It's just a stuff pack where you can be basically bougie. And they had the rustic version of the vanity, and I thought, what a nice touch for this rustic cottage. So very beautiful. And then of course I use all cats and dogs. So the bedding is cats and dogs, and the dresser cats and dogs. You know, funny enough, those nightstands came with Discover University, but the Grace watches matched so well, I just couldn't resist. And through here is another restroom. So I know that with some cottages, unless they are renovated, you wouldn't get like a solo bathroom or like ensuite bathroom, but I've added one here because it's The Sims 4 and extra bathrooms make a lot of sense to me. So that's why I've added it. Now if we go literally right here to the next room over, here's our second bedroom here in the cottage, and it's beautiful. Again, we kept with the stone on the wall all over. Gorgeous. We got a little room over here in case, you know, I don't know how you want to play this. You can have a teenager living here. Now, in my save, I picture my teen granddaughter coming over here, doing her homework, and staying with grandma and grandpa for a bit. But yeah, you can play this up however you see fit. This could be your nursery. This could be your kids' room. Who knows? And this room comes with these nice windows, and they have their stone borders or whatnot, so it's very cute. And of course we got a little mirror on the wall. It's sectioned off pretty well, very pretty. And then over here we got 2 different areas. So we got another room right there, and then another restroom, because for the secondary bedrooms they need a restroom to share. And so this is that restroom. Comes with separate shower, separate tub, and yeah, we continue with those assets and fixtures that came with cats and dogs, so everything looks cohesive all throughout. And yeah, it's beautiful. Even got a little window in here. You could crack it, get some air, because you you might need to. And over here is our beautiful nursery. So I decided to put a nursery in this home, even though like my intention with this home was to be like mama's house with grandparents, and then the rest of the family comes to stay over now and then. You may like this nursery and want to use it for your actual, like, you know, maybe your young adult sim owns this house and they're starting a family. You could very well do that. Now my setup is just like, this is a nursery for any of the kids in the family. So the you know, whether you have infants or toddlers, I knew that I'd be having multiple relatives in different households in different areas that would have little ones, and I thought, well, why not make a nursery that you know, fits within this room. So it's just enough, it's not too much. So in case you need to convert this room into something that's for another permanent resident, it can still, you know, still play that part, still be flexible enough for that. But other than that, it will just act as a playroom for the little ones when they're over at Grandma and Grandpa's. And this is so cute. We got the toy box. We have the bookshelf that came with that pre-growing together launch. And then this cool wallpaper came with Cottage Living. And I thought this was very neat and very fitting for a kid's room. So I had to add it in here. Very gorgeous. And then what's a nursery without a rocking chair? So that's been added here, and we kept that like honey oak sort of wood all throughout. We got the wicker storage bin back there with the diapers in it. That came with the base game update for infants, as well as this clutter item right here. And of course there's a little radio in here, so if the infants want to dance, they can. And they got a little blarfy over there to play with. So very nice, very cute room. Alright, so that's basically everything that's in the house. That was the 4 bedrooms. There's only one other place to show you. Excuse my phone. There's only one other place to show you guys. So I'm going to go out this way, because I did mention we had a basement. And, yeah, I'm going to show you guys the basement. Like I said, the intention with the basement was to be a place to be inclusive of horse ranch. So at a time where I did not have horse ranch, I knew that it was out and that I would most likely get it. And I do have it, but this was made before I had it. But like I said, this is on the gallery and you guys can find it, and this will be what it looks like. So it's already like spaced out and made for that gameplay. So what I literally had in mind was that you'd set up your wine rack over here, and then you could store the bottles somewhere on the wall, or, you know, however you see fit. And then in addition, there's this extra room over here, and I put like some pipes over here. Now, what did I make this extra room for? Also, at the time that I made this, the for rent pack had came out as well. So I thought to myself, well, this is a house. It's not a residential rental, but the cross pack compatibility is that if you were to plop this down like so, and even the electrical box, so with the for rent pack, you get these 2 objects. Now, on a regular residential lot like this, you can experience the same chaotic events that happen on residential rentals. How do you do that? You go up here in your build mode, and you go to lot challenges. That's this little icon here under the traits panel. And this little trophy shows you the challenges. You open it up, and not only can you add like mode on the lot, or reduce and recycle, off the grid, all that good stuff, but because of for rent, we got the maintenance troubles trait. Now, this basically means that, again, you're going to have those events that happen, like maybe you want gas explosions, water leaks, plant blight, all that cool unlocked stuff that happens on residential rentals. You can have it on just a regular residential lot. And so I wanted to, again, allow this lot to be flexible to which you can experience that. So that's why this is here. So yeah, that was the intent behind gameplay. Actually, let me put it on. Why not? Because I thought it was a pretty fun lot trait, and it's really dope that the devs included it. But yeah, and now that is it. That is the end of the build. So as you can see, this comes back up into the yard. You can go back into the house if you want to, but this has that like traditional basement field for an old house. And yeah, that is our, you know, cozy honey coated cottage. Specifically, this is named Granny's Honey Cottage. after the oak that you see inside of there. But yeah, this is a regular residential lot. It's a 50 by 40. And again, if you're interested in something like this, you can head on over to my gallery at Marsha 12, and you can find this build as well as many others of all different shapes and sizes, whether that be residential or community driven or just office build, anything. You can find pretty much anything on here. So yeah, that has been the build tour for the day. And yeah, drop your thoughts down in the comments of what you think about this home, and how do you see gameplay going in here. And also, if you guys would like to share your thoughts on the new Prairie Dreams kit, it looks beautiful to me, or your thoughts on cottage living in general, I'd be totally interested. So thank you so much for watching and for tuning in, and I can't wait to see you guys next time. Bye.